The UFC is signing Umar Nurmagomedov. Get that shit in writing, get that signed, go down to the bank and cash that goddamn check. Boys and girls, we are going to see another Nurmagomedov in the UFC, and I am hyped. I am hyped. We seen him in there against Archie Colgan. Tough kid, good wrestler. He got his ass knocked out by a clean question mark kick from Usman Nurmagomedov. There's so many of them, I'm losing track right now. We got John Pork floating around. We got Islam Makhachev. We got cousins all over the shop from the Abdul Manap team. I'm hyped. I really am. I actually watched a fucking PFL main event. That's how goddamn hyped I was. That's how fucking hyped I was for this fight. I was trying to study for a test. I had a test like the week after, on the Monday after, and I was watching a freaking PFL main event. Don't ask me how I did on that test. But the PFL fight, realistically, I don't watch PFL fights, you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of dead for the most part. They have no stars. Their biggest star, aside from like Jake Paul, who doesn't even fight under the organization, and maybe like, I guess Ngannou was there for a bit, is undoubtedly Usman Nurmagomedov. Usman Nurmagomedov is a massive star just because of his surname, but he's making a name for himself as Khabib with striking. I know that's what we know Islam as, but the clean, crisp kicks we're seeing out of this guy, the knockout power, it's devastating. Yeah, I know I'm glazing him. I know he's going in there against lower level guys. Colgan was undefeated, to be fair, but again, it's in the PFL. Anyone can really look good in the PFL if you're on another level, like Usman clearly is. You can style on these fools. But it was a very entertaining main event, and most importantly, it was the last fight. It was the last fight of his PFL contract. We see him kind of negotiating with Jake Paul there, a little bit awkward. Jake Paul wanted to wrap the belt around Usman's waist. Khabib said no thank you. He snatched that belt off him, chucked it over his shoulder. And you see Usman in the post-fight kind of poking fun at Jake Paul a little bit. And in the press conference afterwards, he was shitting on Jake Paul. Jake Paul gets no respect from these fighters. Fair enough. I mean, most of them are struggling to make a living wage, and you got Jake Paul out here basically a billionaire fighting just for the love of the game. But he is a real fighter. He fucking fought Anthony Joshua. If that doesn't make you a real fighter, I don't know what does. He was a Disney star. He's a rich kid. He's a YouTuber and all that. You can say that, but he's a real fighter. He's a legit fighter. He whooped my ass. He whooped like 90% of the population's ass. At the end of the day, he's a fucking legit fighter. But that's another story. He doesn't get the respect from these guys. I can see why. They probably view him as this rich, entitled, douchebag at the end of the day with a fucking haram outfit on. But he doesn't get the respect from these guys, and it doesn't look likely that Usman's going to re-sign to the PFL. You can see him and Khabib and Islam. Islam's been on interviews recently, and you can just see the way they talk about the PFL. It's dismissive. It's just a stepping stone to them. To them, father's plan and the legacy that they want to create in the fight business is centered in the UFC. It's entrenched in the UFC. It requires the UFC to work, basically. The goal is to get in, become champ, make life-changing money, and retire. And that's basically what they've done with all these guys. All these guys coming up through their gym and through their system have been doing exceptionally well in the UFC, namely Umar, Islam, and obviously Khabib, who started it all. I think their plan is for Usman to do the same. They haven't really got any other Khabib gym guys in the lightweight division right now, except for Shanko, except for John Pork. I don't know how they're going to settle that one. That one might be a bit tricky, but I feel like Usman's going to get a fucking ranked opponent like that off the bat. They're going to give him a Matus Gamrot coming off a loss to Quillan Salkild if he loses to Quillan Salkild, or they might give him a Jalen Turner if Jalen Turner becomes ranked this weekend or next weekend or whenever he's fighting. They might give him a ranked guy, a decently ranked guy to start him off, and I think they're going to propel him towards that title. The UFC is going to be handing over money to Usman. You already know they're going to hand him a 250 to show, 250 to win bonus. Straight away off the bat, and probably a ranked opponent, because they know that Usman's probably the only star in PFL. He got me watching PFL. He got other people watching PFL. People normally don't tune in for PFL, but because of the Nurmagomedov name, because Khabib's there, because Islam's there, People are tuning in, and the UFC, Dana White, greedy little douchebag, money signs start popping in his eyes, and he starts getting horny because he notices that someone else is having a tiny slice of the pie. Someone else is having a tiny little sliver of the pie, and he wants that pie all to himself. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to throw some money. We've seen this with Saldin Parnes. They've given him Dan Hooker in his debut, number 7, number 8 ranked Dan Hooker, and they're probably giving him a decent amount of money because they can see that when a star begins to build in another promotion, that promotion starts to grow. And as soon as that promotion starts to grow, the UFC start having problems. They start having competitors, and they can't be doing that because how else would they monopolize all these fighters and get away with paying them fucking peanuts? It's by being the only company that sells MMA and the only company that people know about when it comes to MMA. People be saying, I train UFC these days instead of I train MMA. That's how big it's gotten. And so Dana White's going to go out there and sign Usman Nurmagomedov. It's not confirmed, but I think all the signs are pointing towards this, especially considering MVP, Most Valuable Promotions, Jake Paul's little side hustle, has now merged with the PFL. They have the potential to become a big, big company because they have the backing of Netflix. If they've got Ngannou, if they've got Usman, if they've got Mike Perry, Nate Diaz, Ronda Rousey comes back, those are big stars. Those are big stars. And Conor McGregor might fucking join them too if he gets out of his UFC contract. The UFC is sensing a little bit of competition, a little bit of danger here. And I think they're right to pounce on trying to sign Usman. But at the end of the day, they will not have a tough time signing him. We know Team Khabib gives a crap about the UFC. They care about the UFC. They value that mostly. They value that most highly, as a test of their skills. And rightfully so. The UFC guys are the best fighters in the world. And if you want to go fight the best in the world, you go to the UFC. So I think they're going to sign Usman. It's not confirmed. It's really not confirmed anywhere, but all signs are pointing towards it. And who do we see Usman Nurmagomedov fight in the UFC? To be honest with you, call me crazy, call me a Dagestani glazer. A few years ago, you couldn't catch me glazing some of these guys, but I've actually come to like a lot of them. I think he beats Gaethje. I can't lie, I think he beats Gaethje. Gaethje's slow, gets hit a lot, taking a lot of damage, approaching his fucking 40s. He's old. He had an incredible performance against Topuria. I'm still in disbelief. 50 days ago, I can't believe how the fuck that even happened. But Gaethje's old, man, and he's beatable. He's very beatable. He's kind of sloppy. So I feel like Usman could beat him, but they're not going to chuck him in a title fight straight away. Give him a decently ranked lightweight guy, maybe a Tommy Nolan even, That way, either way, you get to build up a star. And then propel him towards that top 5. Within 3 fights, I think this bloke could be contesting for the belt. That's how good he is, and that's how hyped he is, and obviously, he's got the Nurmagomedov name to boot. So we could definitely see another Nurmagomedov holding the title, holding the lightweight title in 2026, probably 2027, I'm predicting. And I think he's going to go on a run. Defend the belt a few times. He might move up. John Pork might be champ. No, I think that's a bit too far. I really don't think John Pork's going to be champ. But I do think Usman has a very good chance of being lightweight champ. I think he chins Topuria. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Like and subscribe. The reason why I think he chins Topuria is Topuria's taking so much damage. You can see him taking the photos. He looks physically healed. He's dancing with gay guys in clubs. That's another whole story. I might make a video about that. The psychological and the physical damage from a Justin Gaethje beating does not go away. We saw that with Tony Ferguson. I don't think he's going to bounce back. That's a hot take. I don't think Topuria will ever be the same, and I think Usman chins him. That's a favorable matchup for him. Topuria's undersized at lightweight. He really is. And his style is very reliant on him being a bully. And when he can't impose his will like that, we see what happens. He got fucked up by Gaethje, and I think he get fucked up by Usman. I think a lot of guys would give him trouble now that the blueprint is kind of out there, and now that this aura of invincibility surrounding Ilya is kind of diminished. So that's another fight that could happen. Big fights for Usman Nurmagomedov. A lot of big checks to be cashed from his end, and we'll see what happens, man. I'm really excited to see this fight, and let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe. I'll see you boys in the next one. Much love. Usman Nurmagomedov to the UFC. Let's make it happen. Let's ojulate. It's pretty much confirmed. I think it's going to happen. See you boys later.